Welcome to the snap Monday Do It 24 crew call. Jerry Cooper, current global expansion team member, with aspirations and dreams and dedication and diligence to make it to the president's team and a commitment to. So I'm fired up about that. Um, like he said right there, as you guys always hear me say, it's only about making progress. It's not about having the $5,000 check, but having dreams and the vision to get the $5,000 check. It's not about necessarily being ripped right now. It's about making progress pound by pound, week by week. Um, and even when you don't have your own story, like when I first started, obviously people, you know what I'm saying, when you first start, you don't have your own story, you don't have your own testimony, you don't have that, right? So pretty much what you got to do is tell stories about people you know, more than likely your sponsor, more than likely if you went to an event or you got on a call and you heard somebody that you liked that said, huh, like that's really interesting, you know what I'm saying? You tell stories about those people on your way when you're running to go ahead and you know what I'm saying, level up and do your business inside of the inside Herbalife, right? So pretty much what I want to say is keep your dream alive and never forget about what's important to you, because when you paint the vision for people, that's the most, I think, like that's a very important thing when you're talking about doing business with people. You know what I'm saying? Especially in network marketing, because it's a volunteer army. You don't get paid by the hour, you get paid by the effort, and you get paid by pretty much getting people to believe in a goal. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to speak vision into your team along with having action, because those two things that I believe were major in my success and will be a major key in my success as I develop more skills, because those two won't get it alone. But when you're first starting off, vision and action will definitely carry you a long way. So I want you guys to think about, right, as this, so what, this is the third month of 2021. It's crazy, this shit is flying by, or this month, this year, excuse my French, is flying by. Think about how you've been showing up, right? Think about how you've been showing up in the business. Think about how you've been showing up for your team. Think about how you just been inside of Herbalife this year, right? Who cares about what you did last year? This year in 2021, think about how you've been showing up, right? And then say to yourself, or think to yourself, would you be happy if you had a team full of people that showed up just like you? Like, think about that. Like, if your team showed up just how you've been showing up all year, would you be happy? Would you have a fat check? How big would your check be right now? Let this is actually very good. You know what I'm saying? This is very good. How big would your check be if your team showed up just how you showed up? Think about that, right? And if it's not necessarily what you would like it to be, I wish we could talk about the checks because they didn't post yet, right? Because that would play heavily into what I'm saying right now. But if your team showed up just how you showed up, right? Would your check be where you want it to be at, or do you in a ballpark range? Do you think so? Type of one in the chat if you think that your check would be in the ballpark range of what you think it should be if your team showed up how you want them, or if your team showed up how you show up. Type of two if not. Type of one if so. Type of two if not. One, one. Let me see. Two. Getting some more folks to log on. Bet it. Right. Okay. 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 I see. All right. So, like I always say, um, let me actually type my number in there too, because you know what I'm saying. I'm not. Yeah, I'm saying let me participate. But my whole point in saying this is right. I want you guys to realize is that your team, like people say this, right? Your team is only going to do about like 25% of what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because more than likely, right? More than likely, if you're the go-getter inside of your business, if you're the head honcho, if you're the leader, if you're the spark, if you're the pioneer, you know what I'm saying? More than likely, you're gonna get people that go with you, but not as committed as you, right? So they're going to do probably about 25% of what you do. So if you're not happy with how you've been showing up, right? And your team's only going to do 25% of that, then you know what I'm saying? If you would like to raise that percentage, you got to change up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the reality of it, right? So because at the end of the day, It's your life. And we all have the choice to be able to get out of the rat race. We all have the choice to be able to say, you know what, let me live a better quality of life by chasing this opportunity inside of Herbalife, right? But the opportunity only runs when you give it gas. It only runs when you give it gas, and the gas is, you know what I'm saying, showing up powerfully. Like, think about, let me ask you, this is actually a better question. What does the perfect Herbalifer look like to you guys? Here we go. Here we go. What does the perfect Herbalifer look like to you guys? Somebody come off of mute and explain what a perfect Herbalifer to you looks like. Somebody come off of mute. Anybody. I would like to hear this. Style Bell is cold. Style Bell is cold for sure. Definitely. Somebody come off of mute and explain like the qualities that a perfect Herbalifer has in your eyes. Because at the end of the day, right, there's no standard of what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's an excellent standard, of course, but there is no like.
I'll say one quality if you guys want to go around, say at least one.
Let's hear that.
One is showing up no matter what.
Nice. I like that. Showing up no matter what. That's definitely for sure. You guys think that, so who's that? Beto that said that, right? He said Style Bell. You think Style Bell don't show up? Man, quit playing. Quit playing with Style. I've actually been following Style for, obviously, you know, I've been in longer than pretty much everybody on this call. Not everybody. Might have been in probably a little bit longer than me. But pretty much I've been following Style Bell for the last like 7 years, and I've pretty much seen him be on his A game all the time for 7 years. That's crazy. Has anybody done anything for 7 years that committed like that besides like sports and besides school? Somebody come on, somebody else given a quality of right, yeah, definitely the products for sure. A quality of a perfect Herbalifer. Somebody come off of mute.
I'll say one. You for sure got to be passionate about what you're doing, 100%. So
yeah, for sure, yeah, you got to have passion inside this business. It can't just be about. I think having the passion for, I think only having like the goal of money will only take you so far. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be passionate about the people. You got to be passionate about the business. Somebody else come off of me. I want to hear like 2 or 3 more.
Like communications, like the way they can. All right. I'm gonna talk to you.
Yeah, communication. So definitely having communication. Obviously, as you build a huge team, you got to be able to go ahead and speak to people like 3, 4, 5 levels deep. You know what I'm saying? I've been experiencing that lately, as you know what I'm saying, the team is getting deeper and deeper. I'm meeting new people. Cynthia's a perfect example of that. She's like 5 levels deep. What up? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking. So like, what's good? You know what I'm saying? 2 completely probably different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing about Herbalife, right? As you being a leader and as you being, like I said, the head honcho, the go-getter of your business, you're going to have to be able to talk to people from different backgrounds, different ranges of people, where they come from, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So communication is definitely key. Michaela, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, like celebrates the wins of others, or like shows up for others, whether it be on their team or like a sideline, and like in an authentic way, not like, oh, I got to do this type of way. Like it seems like, oh, I really want to do this way. I didn't.
No, yeah, I definitely believe in that. And see, that's one thing about me, right? I'm not going to say necessarily me, but I do believe that that's a good quality about Herbalife. Like, you don't want to be hating on other people's success, right? Because there's going to be times, there's people that's coming to the business at the same time as me, before me, or the same time as me and after me, right? That moved faster than I did, that are making a lot more money than I'm making and impacting a lot more people that I'm impacting, right? So it's easy for me to have like some, I guess, resentment or whatever the hell, right? About like, it's easy for that person. You know what I'm saying? They got all these followers on Instagram, or, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can fall into that trap, but it's like, when you actually care about, like, you want to clap when it's not your win, because when you win, you want people to clap for you. Because at the end of the day, when you go through these cuts, when you go to these levels, everybody had to put up the same amount of volume points at the end of the day. It's not biased. The market plan is not biased to Cynthia, to Michaela, to Amanda, to Mama Kel, to me. It ain't biased. The numbers is the numbers. The work is the work. So the person is the difference is you, as you probably already know, right? So again, that falls back on how you showing up if you want to go through these cuts, if you want to be on these different, marketing, if you want to have these different pins, right? I got the Get Team pin sitting right here. I would love for that to be a millionaire team, but a millionaire team pin. But you know what? I got to show up a little bit more, a little bit harder, and do a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? One more quality from somebody.
Structure and vision.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely structure. And like I said, well, we already talked about the vision earlier, right? But the structure for sure, right? Definitely got to have structure because there is something about, like, how do I say this? There's a thing called talent inside of Herbalife, right? Like some people have better talents than others. You know what I'm saying? In different things, right? And that may produce more volume, help you get more people based upon your talent in different levels, right? Kind of like the NBA, there's different talent levels. You get paid more based upon your talent level, right? Okay, bet. So same thing about in any sport, right? Playing music, whatever the case is, singing, whatever, right? Your talent level determines your value to an extent, right? But then there is that part inside of Herbalife where it's like, okay, if you're not so quote unquote talented, what kind of blueprint can I follow to guarantee my success along with my hard work? Right. So that's where the structure comes in, where it's like, okay, bet if I can do this, that, and a third this many times over this course of a span of time, then I should see around this number, right? And that doesn't take talent. That just takes effort and consistency and hard work. Anybody can do that, but it's just about, are you willing to? And not everybody's willing to, which is why not everybody is doing what they would like to do or as they set out because of like consistency, because consistency is easy when it's 1 or 2 days. But like I say, if you're doing a 12-week plan, like I'm doing a 12-week plan right now, right? How am I going to feel on week 5? You know what I'm saying? Like 5 weeks from now is a while, but it's like I got 7 more after that. So it's like, how am I going to feel on week 5 when my goal is to look a certain way? I have to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in business. I was like, man, okay, I'm going to give it 90 days, right? But it's like, damn, day 27, I'm not feeling that good on day 27. You know what? Let me cut off. And then that sets you back 3 days. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about like, it doesn't take talent to do a plan or whatever the case is. It doesn't take talent to do a lot of things. It just takes consistency and to be headstrong enough to say, I'm going to beast through this. This is my no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has no matter what's. Like everybody has no matter what's in some form of their life, right? But it's just like, what's going to be your no matter what inside of Herbalife? Write that down right now. Write down right now, what's your no matter what inside of Herbalife? Even if you don't have one, even if you haven't thought of one, right? Like, what's your no matter what? Because I believe it's very important to at least have something where it's like, man, like this is my standard no matter what. Like I can't not do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it don't got to be necessarily 2,500 because you know what I'm saying? I understand what it's like where things aren't necessarily going your way. You're putting in the effort and you're not getting where you want to go, right? So it don't necessarily got to be 2,500, but it can be though. Definitely don't let me discourage you from making it be that. But it's like, okay, what can be your no matter what? Like, okay, you know what? Like, now these are just examples, right? Like, okay, like no matter what, I'm always going to get on that STS call every month. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a no matter what. Or I'm going to go to an event, like, or back when, you know, it was open, I'm going to go to an event no matter what, whether it be in LA, whether it be in Fresno, whether it be in Sacramento, you know what I'm saying? Like missing events is a no matter what. Like taking my products is a no matter what, right? Something like that. Showing up for calls is a no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Like talking to, like I say, if you want to like make it easier on yourself, talking to 10 people a week is no matter what for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that way, it's not like, okay, like, damn, I got to talk to 10 a day. If you say 10 a day is a no matter what for me, not saying that can't be the case, but you got to be real with yourself, especially if you go to school, if you got kids, if you work, whatever, right? It may not necessarily be, it can always be 10 a day, because if you say 10 a day and you do 7, you feel good about 7, you didn't have the time to get to 10. That's not no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But if you say 10 a week, 15 a week, that enables you to you know what I'm saying, give you that leeway. Those are just examples of your no matter what, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell you exactly what they should be because everybody's situation is different. But it's just like, what's your no matter what, right? So what's your no matter what? And write down qualities of your perfect Herbalifer. And if you didn't get on the call, or if you didn't hear earlier, I said, would your check be big enough this month if your team showed up just how you've been showing up? And if not, change it. You know what to change. Some of y'all know what to change. So those 3 things. If your team showed up how you showed up, would your check be big enough? What are some qualities of a perfect Herbalifer? And what did I just say? The third one? I can't remember. What was the third one I just said? What I actually started with? I can't remember. Somebody help me out.
Write down your no matter what.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Liz. Write down your no matter what. Those 3 things, right? Those should be able to help shape, you know what I'm saying, a lot of how we should go forward if you actually write these things down and act on it. That should definitely be able to help shape a lot. If you guys agree, type of 3. If you don't agree, type of 4. And then if you type of 4, we can go ahead and talk about, you know what I'm saying, why we disagree and how we can help you personally. Bet. Okay, cool. So I see a lot of 3s, right? So I actually wasn't even supposed to go in this deep, right? I was actually just supposed to go ahead and pass it off, but y'all know how I be. You know what I'm saying? We can just get to talking, and that's how I get. But listen though, I know that y'all are tired of hearing me talk all the time. I'm tired of hearing myself talk all the time, right? So I wanted to pass it over to somebody that's in action right now, that's actually doing things, and you know what I'm saying, making moves. I've been watching them, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give it up to current. Well, I'm going to let him introduce himself. You guys know how he gets down. I'm just going to go ahead and pass it over to Bino, and I'm going to let him do his thing about, you know, the things that he's been doing right now, and how he's been having success, and ultimately why he's at where he's at. So Bino, go ahead and take it over, man. It's on you.
I appreciate you, Coop. Thank you so much. Yes, like I said, Coach Bino, Bambino, if anything, I'm a world team member, been in the business for about, everybody says like, you know, you haven't been in this business for how long? I say it's about 2 to 3 years. And I'm just going to kind of go into okay, yeah, Mandy, 2. All right, we'll just go and put it that way. But I just kind of want to go into like my story before I kind of dwell into what I have to say about where I am in this business, and then kind of going into just touching on a few points that might help you guys out on your business as well. So before Herbalife, I'm not going to lie, Coop mentioned it before, the things that were out that I was most invested in were things like school. I'm not gonna lie, I did have a bad diet, and I was a huge person in baseball. Sports was like a huge thing in my entire life. I need you to type what number are we on, if anything? I need you to type a 1. I'm gonna just go ahead and create my own numbers. I need you to type a 1 in the chat right now if you had sports in your life and it was heavily involved with your everyday just routine when it came down to everything, whether it be high school or anything like that. Okay, for sure. I got a lot of 1s in here. So as you guys know, you know, when you guys are doing sports and stuff like that, obviously you're invested in your time, school, everything like that. For me, at least, I wasn't necessarily involved with my diet. Okay. Hot Cheetos and Call of Duty were my biggest things. And then obviously baseball practice was where I wanted to be. Now going into that, obviously my whole thing was I wanted to be a professional baseball player. Once I got injured, I couldn't do that anymore. So I had to stay around the game somehow, some way. My dad asked me to throw on an umpire uniform, and I'm like, okay, for sure. Like if I can make some money doing what I love to do around the game, yeah, for sure. Let's do it. But in that time, in umpiring, there was a very strict kind of demand on looking the part. So in order to look the part, I had to start losing my weight. I had to get a little bit more muscle and kind of going into things that way. And that was kind of the route as to why I wanted to get more in shape for myself. I went to umpire school for professional umpire school in Florida. And at that time, my sponsor, Tango, thank you for, reaching out to me, brother. Like I said, if it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't be in this business. So he reached out to me and he's like, man, I love your energy. I love what you're doing. Like, yo, you got to join the team. You got to say what's up. And for me, it was like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I mean? He talked about making money and, kind of going into that way. So I was like, yeah, for sure. Let's do this. And so I joined not even getting a program. All right. And I mentioned that because a lot of people can join various ways. Okay. People can get on from, a 3-day trial, seeing the results and then going through everything in that way. Or they could just come into the business because everybody's making some money and kind of going about it that way too. So I just want you guys to have an open mind when it comes down to how you can recruit and talk about this business, because I don't want anybody to feel scared about presenting this business, this awesome business opportunity to people. So as I mentioned, Tango hit me up. I joined right away, no products, anything like that. The process as I went about it, obviously I was still trying to get in shape, but I wasn't necessarily focused on my diet so much. So I was getting in the gym. I was doing what I had to do. I dropped about 10 pounds of fat. Actually, I dropped about 15 pounds of fat, put on 10 pounds of lean muscle. And that was still, where that was cool. It was cool. It was my first big result. But I wasn't necessarily on my products the way I should have. And I know that if I was, I would have been in a way better situation that going on forth. So after that, I just hit the gym, started doing what I had to do. And then out of nowhere, bam, COVID hits us. You get what I'm saying? Gyms closed. Everything starts to go down. I need you to type a 2 in the chat if y'all gain that quarantine weight. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I want to see some response. Okay, for sure. Because I'm telling you guys right now, I was hella unmotivated. I didn't like myself in the mirror. I was unenergetic. Like I said, I didn't like what I was feeling like. I put on 30 pounds of fat, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And with that being said, it was just, like I said, I didn't like the way I looked in the mirror. It was not the business. So what I did was I obviously kind of started back my products. I started getting back into everything in the routine. And with the gyms being closed, I actually invested in my own home gym. So if you guys follow me on IG, you guys kind of know the whole situation. Now, I'm not saying you guys got to do all the shebang. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you guys have a way about going about this business the way you want to go about this business. So it was kind of up and down. Obviously, I had my equipment doing what I had to do, but it wasn't until I had a conversation with Coop and I had a conversation with Tango. And the crazy thing about this business is that there's so much accountability around you that I want y'all to take advantage of that, because I think that's another thing people overlook in this business. Okay. And just going into it that way, they Coop hit me up straight. It was like, yo, you ain't posting the way you should be posting. You ain't, you know what I mean? You ain't eating the way, I know you ain't eating the way you should be eating. So it was like, you know what? Yeah, for sure. And it hella discouraged me. I'm not going to lie. But once I had that conversation, made that decision, bam, 3 months later, dropped 30 pounds, put on 15 pounds lean muscle, 6-pack for the very first time in my life, energy throughout the roof. You get what I'm saying? And that all started with a decision and the accountability from everybody in this organization. So I just want to thank you again, Coop. Thank you again, Tango. Because at the end of the day, I don't think I would have been in this position if it wasn't for y'all to kind of, light that fire into my ass. So, I appreciate that, if anything. And let me just kind of go into it this way as well. There was a lot of people that I was trying to help out at the time that I didn't have my results, where they seen me glow up out of nowhere. Okay. And those people that said no to me were starting to hit me up saying, whoa, hold on, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? What's this? What's that? And I want you guys to understand something. No just means not right now. So I want y'all to just kind of understand, if you guys have clients or guys have people that you're, kind of going around your business and you're talking about this opportunity, when they say no, don't think of it as like, all right, they're not messing with me, I'm not going to talk to them. No, do your follow-ups, continue to post. People are watching you, even though you don't realize they're watching you. So that's just kind of something that I want you guys to think about as well. Now, kind of going into these results, obviously, it enhanced my confidence. It made me a different type of person. So with that being said, I wanted to jump this business a little bit more. Now, at first, I was actually with one of my homeboys, and he was running a fit camp at the time. And my downline set, me and her had been going to this fit camp for quite some time. And there was just a lot of we were looking for so much, I was looking for so much reassurance to just go about it the way I wanted to go about it. And one day I was like, yo, why not run our own? Why not just do it? You get what I'm saying? And I just kind of want to mention that I'm going to check if Abene is on the line right now, but I kind of want to give a quick shout out to her, because one of the things she had posted on her, she was doing a fit camp as well. And I remember she was just kind of posted herself, and she was like, yeah, come through, do this, do that. And with that consistency, more people started showing up. People want to see that consistency. When I started this fit camp, there was 4 people that showed up. Okay. 3 months later, with the consistency, 37 people showed up 3 months later. So I just kind of want y'all to understand that, like, people are watching. People might not see it right away and say, okay, you know, let's go ahead and jump on the train. Nah, people are actually watching your actions every single day. So stay consistent, stay motivated, and continue doing what you're doing. Because if you love what you do, you're not working a day in your life. That's kind of something I want to go ahead and mention as well. Now, with everything kind of going on, like, obviously, my whole motivation has to do, like, with continuing what I'm doing, has to do with a lot of people on this call. Mandy, Coop, even see, I'm not gonna lie, Will, I seen your 21-day results, boy, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, there's somebody else working harder right now. I gotta step up to the plate. So, you know, just kind of seeing that has really kind of made me want to push more, made me want to go harder, and just kind of being the best version of ourselves every single day. I feel like at the end of the day, whatever energy you put out into the universe, you're going to receive tenfold. So just continue to put that out there in whatever fashion you want to. Okay. Now, in regards to, like, where I want to be with my goals and where I want to be within this business, I'm gonna tell you right now, within this next month or so, I want to promote some of my teammates. I have Jazz on the call that just joined under Alan. I have Cynthia on the call that just joined literally about a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to get them to their next promotion. That's just kind of my goal as to how I'm going to go about it. And one thing I want to kind of switch gears real quick, because I know some people kind of have a hard time when it's like, well, like, how do I talk about this? What do I go about it when I'm talking about conversations and goals and stuff like that? So what I'm going to do for y'all is I'm actually going to put something in the chat real quick and just kind of give you guys a guideline as to what you guys can say when it comes down to, you know, talking to people on your IG or whatever the case is. Now, first, before I do this, I need you guys to realize something. We are here to develop relationships. Okay. Obviously we're here to push something. We're here to promote our energy. But at the end of the day, like, we have to develop a relationship with our people. Okay. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to pretty much throw something in the chat to give you guys a little bit more of a guideline as to what you guys can use. So anytime I pretty much send my first message out when I'm getting into goals, I'm like, okay, for sure. Like, what are you doing for your fitness goals? Obviously, you want to give people direction. Okay. Like, as far as 1 of 3 options. Okay. You're going to try to lose weight. You're trying to cut and maintain, or you're trying to gain healthy weight. They give you your goal. Okay, cool. Awesome. For sure. So at that point in time, then you want to ask, okay, what are you doing for your goals? Bam. You can go ahead and pretty much say, okay, what are you doing? I need 3 numbers. Keep it nice and simple. All right. How many shakes, how many snacks, how many meals you're doing per day. Once you figure that out and you go, okay, you know, this is what you're doing. Obviously, if you guys don't know the numbers, I'm going to break down the numbers right now when it comes down to weight loss goals, maintain goals, and actually gaining weight. So if somebody's trying to lose weight, you want to make sure that you have these particular numbers in mind. Okay. So they're doing, you know, per day, you should be doing 2 shakes, 2 snacks, 1 meal, working out 3 times a week. Now, if somebody tells you otherwise, then you at least have this information to say, okay, well, then this is what you should be doing. Maintenance of goals. I mean, obviously, you guys kind of know what the deal is. This is just another thing that you guys can use as well. Breaking it down per day, you should be doing 2 shakes, 2 snacks, 2 meals, working out 3 to 4 days a week. The last one, you guys are trying to gain healthy weight. Now, if you're doing that, you guys are actually, like I said, you want to break it down. Per day, you're doing 3 shakes, 3 snacks, 3 meals. You're working out 4 or 5 times a week. The main reason why I break this down the way I break this down is because, yes, we're here to sell something, but I need y'all to understand that we're here to provide value to the conversation before we even try to receive anything. And I think one point that I want to touch on is we have to learn how to give before we receive. And I feel like that's a huge thing in this business. Okay. So with that being said, I'm just going to, like I said, go into a little bit more as to what I want in this business. Within the next 6 months, I want to do what I got to do to make sure that I can triple my attendance at Fit Camp. I want to be able to build more of my community, build my team, do what I got to do to make sure I build my clientele. Because as long as, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a vision for yourself, Coop, and a lot of other people, Liz has said this as well, you have to chase yourself 5 years in the future. At the end of the day, if you don't have that vision for yourself, how can you push towards something? So even when you get to that version of yourself 5 years down the line, you still want to look at yourself 5 years down the line again, and 5 years down the line again. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to push you guys and motivate y'all to continue pushing with whatever you're doing in life, not necessarily just in this business, but with everything that you're doing in life. Okay. So, and then I'm going to actually go into my last goal, my next year. Yeah, say it with your chest. Say it. And just kind of go into this next year. Me and Mandy have been talking about this for a minute, but I'm trying to get a location for a nutrition club. And one of the things I want to just pretty much mention as well is that there's a lot of people in our organization that's got nutrition clubs. Bridget, you got freaking, you got Jen and Chuck doing big things. What's up, Pops? And most recently, they're not in our organization. They're more or less cousins. But Preston and Perdula opened up their nutrition club. Mandy, you've been there. And it's like, it's crazy because I just got back from Tennessee and I visited nutrition clubs while I was out there. So it's like the vision has expanded. And I just kind of want you guys to realize, just continue expanding your vision in regards to anything you guys want to do in life, whether it's in this business, whether it's in your results, whether it's in your finances, whether it's whatever the case is, continue to expand in whatever you're doing. Okay. Bam. All right. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up, if anything, because I kind of want to go into what I've been doing to get me where I am right now in this business. And I kind of just want to break down what my flow is and how I'm going about, retaining clients, getting clients, and going on and so forth. So the very first thing that I pretty much offer people is a free personal training session. I break it down. I go through some of their goals. I give them a fit assessment, making sure that they're moving the right way and kind of going about it that way. I don't expect you guys to go ahead and give somebody a free personal training session, but you guys need to offer them something that is not related specifically towards the products. Okay. Because obviously, yes, we're here to sell products, but if you're here in a way where you can invite a community into a way where you're not necessarily trying to push something on them, it provides a lot more value for you as a coach. So for example, I'm doing personal training sessions, or I am inviting people to my fit camp. I'm running fit camp 3 days a week, twice virtual, one in person. So if, obviously I'm not trying to jump the gun with products. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. You can check me out, come through, see what it is. A lot of things in this business, when it comes down to the one question that really breaks down how you go about a conversation is, are you serious or are you curious? And that is one thing that you can pretty much ask somebody into going into a normal conversation. Somebody comes up to you and you're wearing the button. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, you're trying to you lose weight now? Ask me how. First question, every time I ask, I don't know, you serious or curious? And that guides my direction as to how I'm going to take that conversation. So I just kind of want you guys to realize that you guys should value your time in general when you're having these conversations as well, so that people can realize that there is value to you. Okay. As I mentioned before, develop that relationship, have communications with them, not necessarily talking about a product or whatever the case is. But once you get that invitation and people do come to my fit camp, then I'm in person with them. Then they can see my energy. Then they can see what I have to offer, not necessarily from a product standpoint, but from a personality standpoint. And when that happens, bam, I go into a wellness profile. I ask them about their goals, if that's something they're serious about. And so I pretty much break it down and I ask them those questions. Okay, well, what are you doing? What are your goals? What are you doing for your goals? Okay, well, this is what you should be doing. Provide value to the discussion. Because at the end of the day, if people see that you're providing value, if people see that you know what you're talking about, they are more inclined to work with you in whatever you're doing. So with that being said, after they go through their wellness profile, bam, I'm not going to lie. And I don't, obviously you guys don't have to break it down the way I'm doing it, but I am utilizing 3-day trials. 3-day trials are a huge thing for me, because people, I'm not going to lie, when I first started this business, it was hard for me to sell a 30-day program for $100 and whatever dollars. Like, here, you know what I mean? This is a 30-day program. Let me see what's up with you. It was hard for me to say that because first, I didn't have results. Second of all, $100 for me in this first period of the business was a lot of money for me. So kind of going into it that way, I was like, you can go ahead and here's a 3-day trial. Let me try me out as a coach for 3 days. Inexpensive. You can either sell it for $25 or $20. People are more inclined to drop a dub on you on the spot as opposed to trying to pay a bill. I'm on a call right now, bro. So you can, you know what I mean? You can go do what you're doing. Sorry, my bad. Anyways, so that's kind of something I want you guys to understand too, is that you know, you guys can provide that value with a small and expensive price. With that 3 days, you guys could break it down and show them how to take a 3-day trial. Now, if you don't have the tech, there's a text message. There are pictures that you can use. If you don't have those texts or those pictures, talk to your upline, talk to your sponsor, talk to a coach, because they are here in, I'm not going to say the Twitter sphere, but they are here in the organization for your resources. So if you don't have that information, tap in with your upline. They'll make sure that they get you that information. If you choose to use the 3-day trial flow. Now, going into that 3-day trial flow afterwards, bam, day 4. Pretty much talk about their options. I like to keep things nice and simple. 3-day trial, bam, you got 3 options to work with me. Do you not want discounts? Do you want discounts? Or do you love what you're doing and join my team? This is how I phrase it though. And I want you guys to if you guys want to write this down, cool. But this is how I phrase day 4 on joining my team using the 3-day trial flow. If you can teach somebody what you just did in 3 days, you can make money in this business. And then that kind of just takes everything out the window. You know what I mean? As far as like, oh, well, I just did that for 3 days. It didn't seem that hard. I got some text messages. I got some pictures sent to me. If you could copy and paste and do that with another person and another person, then yeah, you can make money in this business. Bam. That's how I like to just keep it simple, because I don't like to break it down and kind of give all the spiel as to what we do in our organization, because obviously that's a little bit more privileged information, as a lot of y'all know. So obviously they either become a preferred member or they become a client. Now you could take it either way, but before I have somebody join as a distributor, kind of what I'm doing in this flow now, Will has been through it. Cynthia has been through it. You know what, Cynthia, I'm going to just hold on one sec. Cynthia, I want you to come off mute real quick, woman. And I just want you to talk to me about your experience before you became a distributor and what made you want to become a distributor. I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay, can you repeat your question again? Sorry.
So how did you feel before you became a distributor and going into the challenge and then going about it that way? How more inclined did you feel becoming a distributor going through that process?
Well, first of all, is your energy, being like a good coach, and just always like passing on information. And you know, for me, not for being shy, not like being able to come out of my comfort zone of talking to people. Me doing the challenges and me being a preferred member for 3 months, I'm like, you know, if I can get results, if I can do what I'm doing now, you know, I can make some money at the same time and help others. So far, like I've told you, I already got 2 people on my, you know, I've sold 2 3-day trials. One became a preferred member. So it's a small progress, and honestly, like I feel good because now I'm able to provide for my community as well as me being able to show results at the same time.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And like I said, you went through this process. You obviously felt a little bit more comfortable going through a challenge, seeing people talk about stuff, going through it and winning a challenge, actually getting second place because of your results. So, you know what I mean? Like just kind of going through that process makes people a lot more motivated as opposed to just kind of signing somebody up off the rip. So, I mean, granted, everybody's got their own way of doing it, but this is kind of a more genuine, more relationship way, like where it's actually kind of coming about it. And I mean, granted, she's been hitting me up like, hey, yo, hold on. What do I say to this person? Okay. What text message do I send to this person at this day? Oh, I got this person on 3-day trial. Like there's a lot more motivation that comes behind it because she's already been through this sort of process. I want to shout out one more person as well, because this person literally just said in the chat, they went through the same process. And I want you to talk to us a little bit about how you went through it, Will. So come off mute. I want you to talk to me like what made you more inclined to become a distributor going through this whole process, 3-day trial, PM, challenge, all that other stuff. So go ahead.
What's up, y'all? My name is Will, current supervisor. Been in the business since June of last year, so about 6 months. Yeah, so that's just how you said the formula. That's basically how I got into the business. Tango was my sponsor, and he was, quarantine weight was getting on. It was June, and he was like, "Bro, like, hop in the challenge with me. I got these 3-day trials. Try it for the one time." And I was like, "All right." He's been talking to me about Herbalife for the longest time, so I was like, "All right, give me the 3-day trial." Tried a 3-day trial. It was cool. And I was like, all right, for sure. Get me on the plan, became a preferred member. And then I hopped in the challenge. Something new, something exciting for me to challenge myself and get results. So I did that. And then doing my plan and being in the challenge, I ended up winning my very first challenge I was in. And then after that, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Yo, like, I was gonna curse. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my potty mouth. Okay. I won it. I won my first challenge. And I was like, yo, okay, this stuff works. Like this is the formula. Like really, like if I can teach, like Bino said, if I can teach someone what I did within these 21 days to get where I got and win some money off of it, then you can make it, So just being able to win was a huge like motivation. I'm like, yo, like I got some results and I want some money off of this. Like maybe this is where we're supposed to be. So I bought in from that point, and it's been, the rest is history. I've been in the business. I've met some great people, great atmosphere, and just getting results day by day. So it's just, like he said, just being able to win just hella helps. Like you helps motivate you, and just like, yo, like this actually works. This is where this was supposed to happen. I wouldn't have won if it wasn't meant to be. So I was just like, it all fell together.
That and that's I appreciate you sharing your story, man. Like that's phenomenal, because that's like you and Cynthia didn't get on a 3-day trial, but like she went through the same type of flow. So it's like, Liz, I'm gonna go back to you and what you said. You got to have some sort of structure if you want to continue to grow in this business. And having that sort of structure, having some sort of way to get people involved, not necessarily pushing a product right away, but it's like, hey, try out what I'm doing. Oh, okay, for sure. Like, you know what I mean? You try me out for 3 days. Let's do that. You get some results? Cool. Get some discounts? Nice. I got a challenge coming up. You want to get some more results? For sure. Let's get it. Oh, you won for your 21-day result? Okay, cool, for sure. So like all of this happens to build motivation, to build a relationship, to build more of a genuine communication with people thank you, Mandy, step by step. And like I said, you're not jumping the gun with everybody. And at the end of the day, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, there is a way that, obviously everybody can run. The beauty about this business is that you can run it however you want to run it. But I'm just learning from people that are doing it, that are successful, people that have showed me that there is a process that people can follow. And now it's just a matter of motivating your people to teach others and to duplicate and to duplicate and to duplicate. Because if you keep it simple, the more duplicatable it's going to be. So like I said, I'm telling you guys right now, a lot of this started with me overthinking everything. You can ask Mandy, you can ask Coop, you can ask Tango. I was asking 1,000 questions literally off the bat. Just here, what do I do about this? What do I say about that? And just kind of going about it and not even trying to break it down for myself and keeping stuff simple. Once you keep things simple, the more things start to follow through, the more things start to make it easier for you, not only as a coach, but the more easier it becomes for your clients, the more people are seeing the results, the more people are seeing the impact, the more people are motivated by what you're doing. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, there's one thing I want you to take away from this call. Just keep it simple. Throw your energy out there to the universe so that you can receive that back tenfold. And at the end of the day, like I said, you guys are going to be putting yourself in a very, very, very successful situation. So without further ado, that'll be my time. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Coop. I just want to say thanks again, everybody. And hope you guys are having a blessed evening. So, yeah.
Let's all type a 5 in the chat if you think that Bino gave you a value right now, or snap it up. Snap it up, snap it up, snap it up. Type a 5 in the chat. Shout out to Bino. He gave some really good things. Yeah, he said some really good things. So like this is gonna be one of those calls that I'm really gonna rewatch it. You know what I'm saying? Because he said some good things, and I keep saying that he said some good things. Ultimately, that's the truth, right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's the truth. I hope you guys were taking notes. If not, as you know, the call will be recorded. Go ahead and watch this recording after the fact. So a couple of things I just want to touch on real quick. LDW is coming up on the 23rd weekend of April, right? The 23rd of April. Okay. So I'm putting this out there again because, you know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to know and not be excluded. Okay. The team is going to go ahead and get a house, more than likely in Tahoe, to do the LDW weekend instead of actually going to LDW, obviously, because, you know, COVID-19. So we're going to go ahead and go to the house. If you guys want to participate, you guys can obviously participate. Nobody's excluded from going. A lot of us are going. Not every single person on the team is going, but a lot of us are going. So it's going to be dope. My challenge to you guys is this, right? It's always better. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys this. I've been to events and been broke. Like, I've been to events and been broke before. Like, it's not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my early career of Herbalife, not even too long ago, right? Like, not even that long ago, to be real, right? But I've gone to events before, definitely 1000%, not with a lot of money in my pocket, not as much as I feel like I deserve, right? So my point of saying this is that it's always better, especially when you go to Herbalife events, when you got money in your pocket from the business that you going to go train about. You know what I'm saying? It's always better when you got that PayPal account with a couple $100 in there. You know what I'm saying? So my point in saying that is, right, it's the 23rd of April, which is over a month, right? Over a month, way over a month. It's like 6 weeks. How much money would you like to walk into LDW with in your pocket, right? Type that number that you would want in your PayPal from you doing a business. How much money would you like to walk into LDW
Like from
with?
now to then?
From now until LDW, how much money would you like to have in your PayPal account? $1,000, $7,000, 2 bands, right?
Man, they going big. 7 bands.
It's a lot of retail.
That's a lot of
That's a lot of retail. 2K, bet.
2K21.
Cynthia, I would love for you to come into the event with 2 bands in your pocket.
Yes.
I would. That would make me happy for sure. 1,500, one. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume you meant 1K, not $1. I'm just gonna assume you meant 1,000. I'm just gonna assume that. Liz talking about 2 bands. Okay. Yep. Okay. Bet. All right. Right. So the key to you guys getting that increase of income. Okay. Actually, let me ask you guys this. How have you guys, some of you guys, type a 3 in the chat if you've ever had that amount in your PayPal? Or not a 3. Type a 6 in the chat if you've ever had that amount in your PayPal. Type a 7 if you haven't. Right. 6 if you had that amount, 7 if you haven't. Okay, bet, right? Now, the point of me saying that is, right, I more than likely knew that a lot of you guys didn't have that. And the point of that is no shade, right? My point is that you have the opportunity to chase that vision right now. 7 weeks. You got 7 weeks to be like, you know what? Let me complete one part of my vision right now. Let me make a big impact on people before I go into this quarterly event. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you guys to understand what it's like to feel really good about impacting people, because, you know what I'm saying? I know some of us make some money on here, but I know some of us don't make as much as others, right? So it's like we all have the opportunity to say, whether you're going into this, whether you're going to the event to Tahoe, or whether you're just going to watch it at the crib or whatever, right? We have the opportunity to say, I want to feel good about the business as I go into this event. You know what I'm saying? Because you tune into the event a lot deeper when you got a pocket full of money from helping people from the business. You tune in a lot better versus if you ain't made no money in the last 35 days and you just kind of like, I'm just here because I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm just here because my sponsor told me to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here because I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. Don't be that person. Don't be the person that's being there because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Because if you do, you're not there genuine, right? And if you're not there genuine, you're not going to be as receptive to the information and you're not going to feel good about it, right? So my point to say to you guys is that for you guys that type 7, which is the majority, right? Chase that number, whatever you is, but attach the number, and this is the key. This is the key part, right? Attach the number, whatever that dollar amount is for you, to people. Attach the dollar amount to people, right? And chase that for the next 7 weeks, right? And see what that'll do for your business. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, we're going to Tahoe if that's the case. And you know what I'm saying? There's a little gambling going on in Tahoe. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? We could all go out there, with a couple of dollars and feeling good. Because at the end of the day, like, can you imagine the energy when you walking around Tahoe and we all did some stuff over the last 7 weeks? We feeling good about wearing the button. We feeling good. We got results. 7 weeks. What? It's April, right? Obviously, it's in April. It should be a little warm. It should be a little warm by then. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how you gonna be looking? How you gonna be feeling? What's your mindset gonna be like? You know what I'm saying? It could either be here because we talk about it now and you're like, okay, let me go ahead for that. Or you could just, been showing up how you been showing up. Because again, we talked about this earlier, right? If your team showed up how you've been showing up, you're not necessarily feeling that good about your check. Right now, you can lay new groundwork for how you're going to show up for the rest of the year. Right now. Forget whatever's been going on in January or February. You know what I'm saying? It's still early March. What's today? The 9th? The 8th. Today, the 8th. You can lay groundwork right now running into the quarterly event. And then after that quarterly event, you're going to hear some great information. Obviously, LDW is personally one of my favorite, actually my favorite event when it comes to information, LDW, because they give you a lot of good stuff, right? But you can lay the groundwork running into this quarterly event, and now you come out of the quarterly event on fire. But you can only catch fire if you go ahead and do the work now, because that's the thing. I think I said this last week or one of the couple weeks before, whatever the case is, right? An overnight success is 10,000 hours. An overnight success is 10,000 hours. So I don't necessarily know how many hours that is right now. What is it? 168 hours in a week? That's 7 weeks. So it's like, I don't know how many hours that is, right? But a lot of hours, not necessarily 10,000, but a lot of hours. You can do a lot of stuff right now between then and now, going into the LDW, hear that spark. Somebody says something that triggers your brain, whatever, you hear a new method, right? Whatever, right? You get inspired by the stories from us talking and being there. And then you come out of LDW, run into extravaganza, possibly with a pin change. Possibly. See, like, you got to be thinking like that. Like, you can't just be thinking like, you got to be thinking about, okay, what's coming up? Okay, bet, boom, boom. I could use this to catapult myself to this, right? So right now you can catapult yourself to LDW. In LDW, you can catch you on fire to go ahead and run the extravaganza. Extravaganza! Right? For those of, Cynthia's like, what? Like, what? Why are you yelling? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? You'll figure it out soon enough. It's not extravaganza season yet, but you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Anyway, that's pretty much the what I wanted to say to you guys. So if you want to go ahead and go to Tahoe, go ahead and say it in the chat or reach out to your sponsor or whatever the case is. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's going to go down. Go ahead and register for LDW. Chase that dollar amount and the people amount when it's STS this month. Will, you're gonna have to go ahead and
My Herbalife.
yes, myherbalifeit.com. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I'm missing anything. Bino, I see your hand raised. What up?
No, I literally didn't give any I literally didn't give anybody a chance to like ask any questions too about anything I went over. So like, if, like you said, all good, all questions are good questions. Thank you, Liz, for letting us know. STS on, okay, well, she thinks, but I'm assuming, yeah, 20th of this month. But no, I just wanted to say, does anybody like have any questions over any of the information that like we've gone over tonight or anything like that that I can elaborate on? Going once, going twice.
What is STS? Boom, Cynthia. Oh,
Six.
Bino, go ahead and answer it, Bino.
Yes. training seminar. Pretty much an opportunity to allow, you can see people being successful in the business. You can get a little bit of training as to what's going on. People are talking about a little bit of products. And then, you can just kind of see what the vibe is like in our, like Mandy said, in our monthly trainings. So, Jess, I appreciate you, Coop. Thanks, man.
Yeah, definitely for sure, Bino. Yeah, Cynthia. So pretty much, just so you know, you're getting the Herbalife lingo, right? So STS is our monthly events. So that's every month, right? It's on Zoom right now, but usually it's in person. Then LDW is a quarterly event, right? So that's coming up in April every quarter. And then Extravaganza is one time a year. So Extravaganza is like the Super Bowl, the Grammys of Herbalife is super dope, right? Hoping it'll go on this year. It got canceled last year. Hopefully it'll go on this year. We're not sure. Obviously, nobody knows, but if not, we'll probably do something big for that. So pretty much like I said in the beginning, like what's your no matter what, a big no matter what for any successful Herbalifer. No matter what, I'm showing up to STS. No matter what, I'm showing up to the events. Danae, I see you with your hand raised.
I got a question for Bino.
Run it.
So you said when you be first talking to people, you invite them to like either your personal training or something like that, or a fit camp. What if you don't have like a fit camp or personal training sessions?
So, and that's a great question. Of anything, create something that's, this is kind of where this is one thing that I've learned in this business is that we're learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So if you can create something where you can, invite something, whether it be a shake party, a tea time party, whatever the case is, you can at least kind of have some sort of way to invite a community around something that you're doing within this business. Granted, like I said, you don't have to use products. You can use products, but at the end of the day, you should kind of formulate something where, bam. Thank you, Mandy. Challenges is a great way to kind of get people involved as to like what's going on and stuff like that as well. Like, oh, what are challenges? Oh, we're running a 21-day challenge. You get the best results. You can get some pay. You can get some money for it. So just kind of formulating something where you can involve not only us as the community that you're already in when it comes down to the business, but really just trying to expose your people and expose, either your family or your clients into whatever the case is, to what you got going on. And like I said, that could be challenges, that could be fit camps, that could be tea parties, shake parties, whatever the case is. Like I said, there's multiple ways of doing it. I'm sure that, Coop might have a little bit of something on that. I'm sure Mandy might have a little something on that. So if you guys even if y'all want to share like your experience on that as well, I think that would be awesome as well. So that's kind of my say on it, if anything.
Yeah, Bino pretty much said it. Just invite to, I would say a big thing that you could do, which is easiest, right? Just figure out what you like. And then, do surround the products around that. So if you like reading books, host a book club party, serve tea, serve, bars or whatever, right? Do the baking, right? The protein baking mix, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and bake some cupcakes, whatever the heck. Whatever, right? Or whatever you like to do. You know what I'm saying? It could be like I believe I've said this before. It could be like movie night, right? And then you're serving collagen beauty booster with aloe as the refresher as you make, you know what I'm saying, healthy meals.
Donut.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, right? Something where you get into products in people's mouth. Something. It could be fitness related. It could be, like I said, book club, tea time. You're doing facial masks with the skin line. You know what I'm saying? You could be doing mint mask, whatever, right? It's a whole bunch of stuff you could do with the skin. So those are things that you can invite to, right? And obviously, like she said, the challenges. If you're just trying to do more of the automatic thing that's always going on, you could just do the challenges like, hey, come do these challenges. But the thing about the challenges is, right, this is one huge thing. The thing about the challenges is you got to be getting your own results, because there's no point for people to say like, yeah, let me do this challenge with you, but you still look the same way you looked a year ago. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing about the challenges, that you got to be on your stuff. You know what I mean? So that's that. I hope that.
Okay, that helps a lot. Thanks.
Right, for sure, definitely, without a doubt. All questions are good questions. If any more questions, going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay.